Hey, oh, Mac got the wrong one loaded up here though. All right, trying to get everything all sorted here. So it looks like the last time we kind of settled on this as the formation that would, best utilize the players that we actually have. And let's see. So, there's probably not that good. Let me start that. There's another formation that I kind of want to focus on. A lot of people this year have been using two two cam formation. I don't like it. I don't like how narrow it is up here in this situation. It just feels I don't like it. But what I was thinking was doing dual ball winners with a regista and, advanced forward. Uh, and for right now, two advanced mids on attack. We're going to take our wingbacks and bring them up the side, provide some width. And we're going to rely on our ball winners on either side here to um, provide our defensive structure right here. So we'll be support, 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 defend, 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 defend. Four defensive. So we'll probably want to run this out of a balanced or even cautious, but we'll try balanced. Advanced forward, obviously up here in attack, there's a lot of different things that we could try. We could try having our cams shoot up and our striker drop back through them. Um, we could uh, could do something like something like this. If we can get a big boy up top, we have somebody shooting up from one side, and the other side is the more creative. The regista handles everything from here back. This guy handles everything from here forward. Um, I think for now this is what I'm going to stick with. does two things better than the other way. Um, One gives us different options, right? We have, a big boy, somebody with their big boy pants on up here, and somebody's feet. But also, and this is the by far most important thing. I'm not sure if y'all know, but I have a love affair with the trequartista, and this has trequartista. And trequartista is far and away my favorite bowl. So, this is what we're going to start with here. This is our end goal. So, this is what we're going to be recruiting for. Now, for this year, we had gone over this pretty extensively. We decided we desperately need somebody on the right. And I remember, do have we really struggled to have somebody when it was a ball winner up here. But once we stepped back into the defensive midfield, our options changed. So we have Gomez over here. Hall. I think Hall was the really well-rounded person. So we're gonna have them over on Vol, and then that's right. So Ricketts will be on the bench, and as soon as we need a little bit more forward movement, we can move him up because he's Speedy Gonzalez. Gallagher. Yeah, he unfortunately he needs to be in the back, but we need people back there. Newell. Yeah, I still don't have. So I think that these are our two positions where we desperately need somebody. So let's do that today. Let's start looking at recruits for BWM at defensive mid and right mid. All right. All right. So for this first year, I'm not going to change anything here. All we want to do is just look at the players that are in range and see if we can plug those holes. And because so terrible, it's not going to take something. It's not going to take an outrageous play to help us fill those holes. All right, so just going down here. Striker, we don't need them yet. Don't need them yet. Defensive, Alan Noble. Mm, He's good. As long as he doesn't want much money, he'd be a good person to bring in. Not really jumping over the moon about him. Mm-hmm. This guy's a bit better, probably, even though crap tackling and his aggression isn't, which is fine. I if for the DM, high aggression is nice for a ball winner because that's what you want from them. They're literally chasing down the ball and trying to get it. But for my center defenders, I'm actually good with medium aggression because that means that they're going to stay in place a bit better. They're not going to go into aggressively chase after people. Um, of course, if it's too low, then they just stand around waiting. It's terrible. But I actually think a 9 all the way through this, even if we get all the way up to the prem and win the world, 9 is good. That's kind of where I want aggression for my central defenders to be. Has good defending, good marking, good jumping reach, slow as a snail for a 21-year-old. Wow, that's weird. Um, Again, kind of on the fence about him. Let's see. Canon. We would want him maybe up here. So marking, tackling, teamwork. Ooh. Oh yeah, no, this is about. All right. So Canon. Let's see what he brings to the table. That is good. That's good. And strikers. And Slater is good. Actually, he's really good. For this level, this is kind of what I'm looking for a backup central defender. So he's just nice and solid, isn't going to be whining and kissing and moaning about not starting enough games because the other guys are just playing better. But he is competent and will be able to fill in quality. Ooh, 5 composures to rough. The rest of it looks good. Yeah. Speed seems to be a really true count at this level right now. It's not always, but for us right now, it does seem to be. Mm-hmm. Not so bad. Not so Let's see. Ooh, that agility really kills him. But otherwise, definitely acceptable for this level. I'm gonna actually shortlist him too. I mean, that agility is definitely a problem, but and the fact that he's 25 means it's never going to get any better. But you could also play both positions. Who was that? Is that Thompson? Yeah, let's shortlist him too. Alright. Alright, so our biggest problem is that we really don't have anyone to play on that. See, yeah, I found the things when I was watching the video back. They're literally right in the middle of the screen. Reasonable and very strong. They think that he would make a better inverted on this side than straight wing on this side. And I would want. It's got no crossing. Oh. So that's a problem. All right, so let's see what we have for games. All right, and Davey, you out of that. We would have. All right, so up top we would have Barrett. Sorry, we'd have Poznanski and Barrett, and Wakefield and Davey, both on the field at the same time. So all we need to do is find somebody to back them up. Let's see. We're going to need a lot of midfielders for this. All right, so Nunez, right? Yep. He's over on the right, but he is slow, not strong, can't jump, has terrible balance. He's all in all a complete. But he can fill in. And who do we have? So we have Ricketts, right? He would make probably a good Shadow Striker. And Farrell. So what do we got here? Farrell, we would have to actually train him to do something. Ricketts can already do it. Well, all three of these guys can do it. All four, technically, other than Davies. So we actually got enough there. Now, Farrell's just on Muslim, so if he doesn't fit anywhere, we could just let him go. And he's got that good acceleration. He's Shadow Striker. Got good leadership too. And he's young. He can't do much. But yeah, we're gonna cross shrink him for Shadow Striker. And same with him. Alright, so let's take Wakefield and News out. I'm just gonna have Ricketts and Farrell on that side. And over here we'll have okay, we'll have Wakefield, Davy, Wakefield, Davy, yeah, I think Wakefield just about edges us day one start. That could obviously change. So back here, the first thing we want to look at is Regista. We can find one good Regista. I shouldn't say good, I should say serviceable. One serviceable Regista. And basic, and one person to maybe back him up. Then everybody else would just be ballers. All right, so this is Hall, 23, ball winner. Ricketts decided he's going to play Cam, Hudson, Passon, Vision, work rate. Not, he's more of a of adult. Sorry about that. But he's the only one we got. So really, we're going to be looking for lots of stuff, many stuffs. Okay, so I think that because we're in the lower leagues, I'm just going to run through people. It's not really. You can only look forward 1 or 2 years maximum to see whether they're going to be able to contribute. This three strength, I would say, if we're going to keep them long term, we just focus that down. Maybe we bring it up to something substandard instead of abysmal. But we're not going to keep him that long. So we need to know. We need to use him in a manner that is that is strength. And that would be moving forward. His passing 8, visions 8, his decisions are 9. He's got a little bit more pace. I would actually say that maybe we could train him up to Regista. His dribbling's abysmal, long shots, but that's fine. We don't. His composure is not great, which isn't actually as much of a problem because we're going to have two ball winners on the field with him at the same time, so they're going to be people who need composure. No flair, that's kind of bad. But again, it's not the main thing I'm looking for. Off the ball, that's kind of bad. It's a little bit more what I'm looking for. Technique's bad, that's not good. Mainly what I'm looking for is passing, vision, and decisions. Those are kind of the three big ones for me, for the person who plays in this position. So let's, we can DLP. Balance. Balance. This is kind of a weird little tidbit. The balance is going to affect the pace of your pass or shot. So you're looking at 5 balance, and you're saying, okay, well, this guy's passes are not going to be quick and crisp, and don't even try long passes. He's not going to. He's not going to be putting himself in a good physical stance to get distance. So you would play DLPSU is somebody who sits back and has a really expansive passing. DLPDE has much smaller passing. Um, and so let's take a quick look at the formation. You see here that this person here, if they DLP, they're going to stay mainly in this area. We have these two as ball winners to provide defensive security. Now, one might argue if you just move this person up into he just moves this person up. But one of the specific things I want is the ball winners to be wider. So what we do need is somebody who can have a more expansive passing or enough physical ability to run up. That's why I said Regista before, because the Regista is kind of like a defensive minded roaming play. um, so that the Regista would be able to get up into these areas, and that way they wouldn't need a very expansive. They wouldn't need the expansive passing in order to be able to connect. If we DLP, then this much empty area is a problem. It's definitely a problem. Um, these guys are going to cover like this area here ish, and this area here, but this is a lot of territory. So you would need somebody who can pass really crisp passes over the long distances in order to connect with these guys up here and over here. Obviously they can try and connect here and here, and maybe going forward from there with my wingbacks. So we either need a regista that doesn't have crisp passing or a DLT that does have crisp passing. Which is why, for right now, I'm definitely leaning toward Paul. Paul? Who was it? Hudson? Yeah, I think Hudson, but not as a regista. He wouldn't make a terribly good regista. Just because he is so slow. I mean, he's 36. It's fine. He would dope right down here, just kind of sit there and spread passes. That's what he'd be good for. Okay, so from there, I think Hall, and I think Hall to back him up. So let's do Hudson primary and then Hall. And that'll be our primary in there. So that leaves us with Newell and Pearson. And we know that both Newell and Pearson were very bad. But I think we just put at least one, I think two players in the short list who might be able to play there. So Keenan As a ball winner, would definitely be the best ball winner on our team. Thompson doesn't have the agility, which kind of sucks, but other than that, he's excellent. At this level, you're not going to get the perfect person. Real well. So let's now it says here we have what is it? 30, 70, about 70,000 in payroll to bring people in, or 74.71. Just look right there where it literally says payroll budget. People. So let's see what these guys think. We want to be a star player that's not horrible for us, simply because we know that he would be the best one on our team, and we would expect to play him as a star player. Um, we're really only focusing on one. Oh, I saw. We're only focusing really on one the next year, because next off season we're going to be looking to upgrade all across the board. So this is just kind of filling holes and get a team that can play. That red big matches is problematic, but I'm still. Hmm. All right, so let's remove that. So what I was saying was, yes, because of that, because this is just a 1 year thing, I'm more than happy to put a clause in, and we'll go ahead and go with Stalin. It's fine. So he wants 50K. Oh, he might be a bit too rich for us. Hmm. This is just a personal thing. Um, I don't like doing appearance fees and stuff like that. I'm already paying you a salary. That generally does mean that I have to pay a bit bigger salary. But I prefer that because when you have a lot of clauses and bonuses and stuff like that, a lot of hidden money starts um, catching up with you at inconvenient times. So if you can just, I'm for a player who I know isn't quote unquote my guy, I'll do whatever. It's fine. But most of the time, I prefer to avoid a whole bunch of those things. We said we were fine with the with the release clause. He's going to let's just see what he says. All right, he only wants 1 year. He wants increased to 77. What if we We're using a star, so he will definitely start 30 games, unless he gets injured. Salary after we reach club 95. Let's see. Center back. Let's protect to 750. 78. All right. I doubt he's going to get enough goals for this to be sure. Chances are we're going to be playing him at all winner. So there's a chance he won't get any goals this year. Hopefully not. Because all right. And Thompson. Fringe. Oh, see, this is the kind of guy we like. What do we want to do? Let's up it by one to impacts, which will make him like us a bit better. 29. Fees. Should I bonus I'm fine with? Always like to encourage my team to get shutouts. What if we this will take us over a little bit. Let's just see where he's at. It's 32. 30. 31.5. All right, cool. So we got these two guys, hopefully, and they should strengthen our defensive midfield. And just to remind you, the reason we did it this way instead of going with this is because we got no one who can play over here, and we know of no one who can play over here. So that pretty much makes this formation a big problem. All right, so that's where that's going. And for now, yeah, we will go with DLP because the our best option there is somebody who's ancient and just doesn't can't move. So Regis is kind of off the table for right now. All right, so we're not going to have a lot of forward movement through the midfield. The midfield's basically going to be us trying to take the ball, get it to the DLP, who can then distribute it to in a good way. So there's no forward movement out of the midfield, which means a lot of our forward movements can come off of our wingbacks. Um, there's part of me that really thinks going wingback on attack, ooh, that trying to fill in wingback on attack or even complete wingback would be the way forward. I know that we have two complete wingbacks on the right side, so we can swap that straight to complete wingback. And then just trust our BWMs to provide our defensive security. But we don't have a complete wing back over on the left, which is, again, first year, you can never get exactly the type you want. It's just irritating. Sorry, the kitty cats are need some ovens if they are. They need some ovens. Um, Obviously, at this level, Trick Ortiz is not going to. That's an upper level situation. Um, so we can either do advanced playmaker or attacking midfielder. I don't. Attacking midfielder would be more thematically what we're looking for. Um, but I'm not sure we actually have somebody who could be a playmaker up there. But let's double check as soon as my cats are done demanding attention. Be right back. No, no. Mm, stop. No. Stop it. I gave you the ovens. Stop it. Okay. Now, looking through our selection of hands, none of them make a good decision to save their souls. They are terrible decisions. Five decisions, six decisions, five decisions, seven decisions, four decisions. So, again, no real playmakers among them. So, we probably will just start with advanced midfielder on attack with a shadow striker on the left. Because if you remember, our Poznanski was an aerial monster at 6'5". So target forward suits that perfectly. And then Barrett here, he's not an aerial monster, but he can fill in. Mm, he can fill in. It'd be good, but what are you gonna do? All right, so I think we sort of have. Oops. All right, I think we sort of have basically our entire team picked. Now we just need to make sure that everybody's in the right position. So we're gonna browse through. What we're looking for specifically are footedness, right? We want to make sure that we have people on the right side, the correct sides, for their footedness. So Ricketts and Farrell ideally should be right-footed because they are there's two things they could do: shoot and pass over to here, both requiring the right foot. So right foot very strong, right foot weak. Interesting. I think that would be okay. Next year we'll work on that, but for this year, I think that's okay. He's not going to be able to get over to the wide area, but and his shooting's going to be different. It's going to be coming from a different place. So changing it up maybe would be okay in the short term. All right, and over here we want Davey Whitfield, right foot, right foot, of course. Hmm. No, that's fine. That's fine. Because over here we were looking at maybe trying to get it up to the wide area, for him, as he's going to be the primary passer, we want him to be connecting with him. That's the primary connection we want to look for. So having him on the right foot is good. So we just have one left-footed dude over here that we need to replace whenever we get the opportunity. Back here we have Pearson with a very strong left foot. Keenan, very strong right foot. Thompson, very strong right foot. Newell, very strong right foot. All right. In order to advance the ball, we're going to be advancing the balls up the wings. We want these guys to be able to do a quick, short pass out onto the wingback who's running by, which means we want the inside foot to be a bit stronger. So we actually want Pearson to be over on this side, and then Newell over on the other side. All right. Okay, yeah, because now we're, I mean, again, not ideal, but Pearson's the only one with a strong left foot, so we do want him to be over here. Now, you can probably guess what you're thinking as well. Don't you want him to be able to dish it off to here? Yeah. But you know what? This is going to be literally just standing still right here. Or he's going to be in the vicinity. If you have to make a difficult pass, or one that's a little uncomfortable, make it to the stationary guy. If you need to make a more complicated pass or you're trying to get somebody on the run, make it with your strong foot. So when they're passing out to here, where it's going to be a more complicated pass, they're going to be using the strong foot to do it. When they're passing just to this stationary guy right here, they're going to be using their weaker foot, or they're going to have to turn their bodies into a contorted and weird position, or use the outside of their foot or something. But that's more okay. They're going to have a lot more practice doing that, and there's a lot more room for error. So that's why we're looking for inside footedness on these two BWMs. The ball with the DLP footedness really doesn't matter, um, as long as because they're going to just be looking to spray the ball up and around here. They want to spray the ball to moving wingbacks on either side, um, the trequartista, and maybe if they can catch if the shadow strikers catch a bead and the DLP thinks they can thread one through, maybe to them too. I think the primary passes would be going to this person here and going bounce. All right, so with this here, we have somebody stationary right in front of the back line, spraying the ball around. We have our defensive supports for the wings. And then we have our actual wingbacks going forward. And then we have our attackers. I think we have everything all set up. If we get those two transfers, we should have a team that can play. Woohoo! So we made a lot of choices. So let's go ahead and save. Because now we get to decide what the instructions are going to be like. All right, attacking width. No, we don't want it to be especially narrow. We don't want it to be especially wide. We're good with just a straight setup. We play out of defense. Yes, we definitely want to play out of defense. Work ball into box. No, we do not want to work ball into box. The ideal here is early crosses. The wing backs come up here and cross early. So we're going to start with that. And passing directness, because of this big open area up here, we do need to be at least standard. Tempo. Because most of our possession is going to be midfield and back, we don't want to. We do. We want to push tempo up just a little bit. We don't, because tempo is going to kind of try to move average, the average positions forward. So if we keep it really low, that means we'll literally just be playing back here. But that would also mean that we have a greater chance of our forward people getting in behind their lines. If we did this, we would be trying to put the ball up here a lot more. But our people would not have a chance to get in behind their lines and basically have to work ball under box. It's not what we're looking to do here. Um, and maybe someday, if this would be the ideal, this is what I'm eventually looking for. Um, but for right now, I don't have any control of the defenders, and you know that they all suck. I'm just going to try and play a little bit further forward at the risk of not letting our people get in behind. For creative freedom, especially for the first few years while establishing establishing our formation for the first time, be more disciplined. We just want people to be where they are. Not to mention that the lower tier, like, they couldn't be expressive if their lines depended on. Well, as a formation. All right, so yes, we do want to pass into space. Passing into space and hit early crosses, I think, are two things that go really, really well. And I'm trying to decide, do we want to focus play down the left or right? No, I don't think so. Because I think that we can get enough play out of our DLP in the middle to balance it out. So I think that we have enough to not focus anywhere. All right. In transition, everybody counter presses. So we're not going to counter press. We're not going to regroup either because we're already sitting kind of far back, and regroup will have them shooting back even more. Which, no, we don't want our central defenders who are right here to be running back right here to the goal, and then letting them get shots from here. Right? That's not what we want. We want them to be sitting right, basically right where they are, instead of moving backward towards the goal. Now, if we were playing up here, then yeah, having the central defenders who would be probably up in this area, running back to get to this area. Yes, it's understandable. It's not what we want. That's not what we're doing here, though. We're already sitting pretty far back. Now, in terms of wingbacks, there's not a whole lot of strategy here. These wingbacks are just going to be rolling up and down the pitch constantly. That's all they're going to do. They're going to bomb up the pitch until they get to this area right here. Then they're going to cross it, and then they're going to run forward and be in a position to add width. That's all they're going to do. To be quite honest, that's all I want them to do. Because they're so far forward, very easy for them to get caught out, but they're just going to be bombing back to try and get to position. So our ball winners are going to um, focus on preventing the counterattack until our wingbacks, who are way upfield, can get back in and take over defense. Um, as for speed, don't really focus on distribute quickly or distribute slowly, because those are things that you just do, in certain circumstances. If you're chasing a win, you can distribute quickly. If you're trying to protect a win, slow the pace down from the goalkeeper. But normally, you don't want to do anything with that. Our center backs are horrible. They are not going to be able to give us. They're not going to be able to do anything. So, what we're going to do is distribute to fullbacks or distribute to playmaker. I'm not sure which. See, distributing to fullbacks plays a safer pass further back in a way that is less likely to be intercepted. Playing the further forward pass would normally be a problem, but because we have two ball winners here, even if a kind of crap pass gets played up to the DLP, um, the ball winners are there to reinforce. So I think we're going to go DLP. And we're going to do counter because what we're trying to do is a real direct. We're going to invite pressure and then try and get these guys up over the top. And out of possession, um, for trigger press, I often lower it to enable attacking. So when this guy, for instance, if we have a high press on, this guy can get dragged out to do their press on whatever it is they're pressing. And so for attacks, the attack would come from a different direction. There are good and bad things about that. The attack would come from a different direction. But uh, on the practice field, they're practicing the shots coming from here, not here. For until the familiarity fills out, and until we get good players in these positions, then we can start tweaking. Right now, we just really want people to kind of sit to be where they're supposed to be. So we back off the trigger press. We're going to have the center backs right where they are on here. And the line of engagement. I'm tempted to just leave this as mid block and standard. Problem is that I know that I have a bias, and that's I hate that every stinking tactic in all of creation requires this to be up here. And I just want something different. So I'm going to leave it there. I know that it's a bias of mine. Um, but mostly what I look at for this screen is stuff here. See, if you move back, you have a bit fatter formation, a little bit scrunched. Go up and up, then you have a longer formation. A longer formation passes through both directions much more easily. So this is something that if you are hunting a goal and you have good passers back here, this is something you could do to help open up some space. This closes up all the space, but it makes it very easy for them to get over the top because the distance they would have to get over your head is much smaller. So I'm going to go with it's pretty standard. So for this, if you played this back, and like you're at the end of the game, and you've been soaking up pressure all day. They have 70% possession. They have 150 shots. Crunch it down. That's fine. That's what you want. You're not gonna go forward on them. Just crunch it up and they'll weather it. But other than that, you really should never try to scrunch up the formation. It just it's too easy to get. And especially since it's one of the lower leagues, the fewer the instructions, the better. We're going to turn off prevent short goalkeeper distribution because we do not want these guys far up the field. We want them to be right here because right now our DLP has really can't make a crisp pass. Um, which means their pass up to here, which is the longest pass they can do, is going to kind of trickle over. So it's not great. But if God forbid this version was further forward, might not even make it to it. So yeah, we're going to keep it low definitely until we can find somebody who can actually pass the ball better. Now, with all of this, these five people in here are kind of our defensive setup. We definitely want to trap inside. We want to be pushing everything into these five people. Um, our center backs are terrible, but they're no more terrible than everybody else's. So we're not going to either stop or invite crosses. Um, really, cross engagement should be on a situational basis. If the if they have attackers that are very tall, you don't want to invite crosses. You might want to stop the crosses to keep the really big uh, physical threat from getting the ball as well. Um, if your guys are huge, but your wingers are a little outmatched, you might invite crosses. This would also allow the wingers to play a little bit further forward. But for us right now, this is where we. Let's see. And that should do it. I think this is what we're going to start trying, folks. Okay, and one last thing. Back here, no matter what level you're playing, you want some sweeper. Whether that be uh, a center back in the sweeping role, then you can have a goalkeeper, just a straight PK. Um, or if you use a sweeper keeper and let these two stay on D, the preferred method is this because if you use a center back with a cover duty, he the offsides line is messed up, right? Because one person's playing back, one person's playing up the forward. So your offsides line, defensive line, is never going to be straight. Um, so it's usually good practice to have these two playing the same so that they can establish a good line. Our wingbacks in this particular situation, they're going to do on the forward. I doubt that there's going to be a whole lot of situations where their defense's situation is going to destroy uh, destroy the defensive line. So it's just these two. Um, but if we were, for instance, if we had, I don't know, I can't think of a specific situation. For me, I look at the goalkeeper and decide what they're good at. If they can sweep, I usually just let them sweep. But if they can't, then and I have a central defender who can and is pretty good at it, and I'll let them do. Usually, that's who sweeps is usually a matter of personnel. So one of these three people has to sweep. So okay, and I think that's pretty much it. Um, for the first 2, 3, maybe even 4 years, I will not be bringing up second and third um, formations up here because it's going to take 3 years for this formation to kind of become, you know, our identity. Um, After that, we would definitely have a second formation where we would do some more going forward stuff. We would change this to a SU. We might switch these guys to Segundo Volantes, um, and stuff like that in order to attack more. Or we could even switch these two to halfbacks and this to Anchorman to be a little bit more defensive. But for right now, this and the fullbacks, of course, we would change those to fullback SU instead of wingback SU to keep them a little bit more towards this end of the field. But for right now, we need to learn this, and this is what we're going to focus on. Alrighty. Unless I miss my guess, I think that's all for today. I'll catch up with y'all next time. Adios.